Alright, so I just really want to briefly talk about the pat. Alright, the pat is nothing more than a slight touch or movement that moves the attacker, the attacking arm, leg, whatever it is. So if this comes in, this, like I said, this is going to hit me right in the xiphoid process. Boom, it's going to hit me right there, right? Alright, so even if I don't use my footwork, which I will, but even if I don't use footwork, a pat will move it offline. So if I'm here, see how it hits me straight in the xiphoid, right there. That little bone right in between your, right there where your chest meets together, there's this little bone that sticks out. That's your xiphoid process. You break that and that's going to hurt. So anyway, they're going to strike me right there. It's kind of interesting. The stick actually goes right there to it too. Awesome, awesome. So anyway, without using footwork where I come in, I move and evade and all this kind of stuff, I'm going to stand my ground and I'm not going to move just so I can show the pat. So if the punch comes in, this little tap, just like that. Now see, I step in and I don't get touched. I don't want to hit it too hard because it'll fall down. Anyway, right there to xiphoid, right? Alright, so just a little pat. Boom. See how it moves? Then I can just step straight in and I don't get touched. That's basically what the pat is. So, I don't know if I want to try it on this side because it'll push it down. But anyway, just a pat, pat, pat. Alright, so a 2-count pat, like here, right there, okay? Right there. And this is what I'm talking about when I go outside, inside. See how that lays there? Alright, right there. Do it on this side here. See how that lays there? Alright, this is very, very important within my system and the way I have developed my combat style. This is extremely valuable and useful in my way of doing things. It works extremely well for me. Just like so. And there it fell down again. So anyway, that's the pat. So real briefly, I am going to discuss the cover. Now the cover is not a block, but it's not really a deflection either. Now it's closer to a block than it is a deflection, and this is something that I would only use if I had no other choice, or if it was a really surprise attack and I had nothing else to do but just throw my hand up right where it was at. So when I cover, what I'm going to do is my hand is going to come up beside my head, like I'm going to brush the hair back, if I had hair, brush the hair back away from my ear, and I'm going to keep my hand on my ear, and it's going to be right here like this, right? Alright, my arm is going to be in at my side, my elbow will be down, and I'm going to crunch my head down so that I cover my neck, and I'm going to bend slightly at my waist like this, and I'm going to crunch my side inward. So this is going to make me smaller, and it's going to be, I actually can cover my head all the way down to my hip with my elbow. So there's that cover here, just like that. Alright, so if they come in with this wild hook, or they pick up a big old stick and swing it at this angle 1 or angle 5, and it comes up towards the head or whatever, or even at the ribs, if you've got no other choice and you don't feel comfortable with trying to deflect, or even footwork won't work, and you're just going to have to take the hit, I say cover, just like so. Chin gets tucked down into your chest. You crunch it up, your shoulders come up, your waist bends, and now I have cover from my head all the way down my body up to my hip. Boom. So now I cover up everything. There, cover. Now, another thing that I teach as far as covers go is, if need be, and you have an extremely violent or very strong person and you don't think one arm is going to do it, you can bring up both arms and cover, like so. Alright, everything crunches down. This arm will come over and protect the front part of your body here, and boom. So that's the basic cover. So since I talked about how I dislike katas so much, I guess I will show you the kids karate kata number 1, Surikonto Hinko, and I'll show it to you, and then we'll briefly talk about it. I'm not gonna get in depth with it right now. I will do another video that is specifically on this form, and I will go through a lot of the bunkai and the explanations and everything at a later date. But right now I'm just going to show it to you, and we'll discuss it a little bit. All right, so we begin Surikonto Hinko. Surikonto Hinko. So there's the kata. It's not long, and there's really 3 or 4 basic techniques that we're working. We are working the 3 count deflection. We're working an arimi nage. There can also be a Ekyo in there. There's a lot of things you can see that I won't mention right now, but like I said, everybody can see something different if you just look. So one thing is, when we begin, we do this here. Okay? Now if you see this, normally what someone is going to tell you is this is a block. And this here, you're doing a block, an inside block, like this. And this hand is down here to protect in case someone comes up and knees you. So you're like this here. So you're doing this block, and this hand is here so when they come up and knee you, right? Sure, that could absolutely be it. No doubt about that. So I'll do it towards the camera. But this here, as you can see, from the deflection section that we just worked, that this here is the same thing as if you were to go here, here, and here, except this time I'm going like either inside of the, we'll say at this point we're going to the inside of the arm, and I'm deflecting that, and then this one here comes to the outside of the arm, and then I punch. Okay, so I'm here, here, and here. So deflect it away, re-deflect it the other direction, and punch to the face. Boom, just like that. All right, that's one possibility. Now the variations of that are endless. Instead of going like this, I could go like this. Okay, so now I'm doing outside 3 count. It can go here. This is 1, here's 2, 3, 4. Okay, so there's a variation of what could be happening right there. Now we're here, okay? Now you see me drawing this hand back here like this. So I'm here. This punches as this hand chambers, right? So that's what you're going to be told generally, that you're punching and chambering like this. Okay, that's not necessarily what's going on here. All right, as this hand comes out, this hand is here, I'm drawing it in. So their hand could be punching in at angle 9, right? Here, we're punching in at like this. This is what our attacker is doing. So I can bring this in with deflection, gripping it and pulling them into me. And this could be a punch, right? I could go to the inside of the body, deflecting it, pulling them into me. This could be a punch, but it also could be an arimi nage. So in Aikido, an arimi nage is, think about a clothesline, okay? So if I'm going to the inside of the body and I'm pulling them in, I grab their hand here, their wrist, and I'm pulling them towards me at an angle downward so that they're coming in like this, right? So if I'm punching, if I'm the puncher, they get a hold of my hand and then draw me down in like this, and I'm going like that. So, and as I do that, this hand comes out, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a punch. I could actually be going across their throat with this and then dropping them with this clothesline. Now, I would want to do a tenkan, so I grab them, I get them here, I pull them in. Now I would want to do a tenkan because they're moving in like this, right? So they're going to be off balance anyway. So if I redirect their movement and I do a tenkan and I throw them here and I throw them, all right? So there's a possibility there. That's an extreme possibility. There's plenty of things you can do. Now, another thing, you're here, and if you see, I'm here, and this goes here, again, grabbing their wrist and pulling them in, right? Grabbing the wrist and pulling them in. This doesn't have to be the punch. I'm here, just exactly how the kata works, like this, right? So I'm here, I'm pulling them in, but I don't necessarily have to punch them in the face. I can do an Ekyo. Ekyo is here, right? I get their arm and I roll it. So I'm here, I get their arm, then I pull them down, I go underneath right here. I'm hitting right here. And then I take them down with a little tenkan. So there's an Ekyo right there. So there's plenty of techniques right there. Now, so we get to this point where I come in, boom, I'm here. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna bring this side over here and do the same thing on the other side, right? Now that doesn't necessarily mean there's two attackers. There's not two attackers. What I'm doing is I'm showing you that what I do to my left side, I also can do on my right side, okay? So there we go. So exact same thing on the other side. Now, as I turn, I have this here and I'm turning like this, okay? Now you've already seen that's how Ekyo works, right? So I'm here, I've got a hold of their wrist, I come in and I do Ekyo. Boom. Look at that, all right? Then I repeat the same thing over here. Now, then I come in and you see me do this low block, right? People will tell you, oh, that's a low block. No, doesn't have to be a low block. Now, one of my favorite techniques is a hijiate. It is an elbow strike. We do several different variations of hiji, but one of the hijis, we go to the inside of the body, so the hand's coming out. We're here and we got a hold of it. We're on the inside of their body. This hand will reach in and go at the elbow and drop them, right? So when I'm here, what I'm doing is I'm got a hold of their hand here and I am on the outside of their body, so their arm is going this way, right? I can actually strike to the inside of their arm at the elbow right here, or I can just grab it and pull. It doesn't really matter. And then I can just pull them down. That is a hijiate, elbow strike. So I'm here, boom, 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 here, and then I'm striking here. So this right here could be a low block if you want to call it that, but I see it as grabbing their hand, pulling them in, and then doing a hijiate. So there we got that. And then we got the strike, which can be many other things. Again, we've gone through what this punch can be. It can be an Remy, it can be an Ekyo, it can be tons of other things depending on what you see and what you want it to be. I step back and I punch here. Now, again, this could be grabbing the arm. I could pull them back. This could be a punch, it could be an Ekyo, it could be an Remy Nage, it can be tons of things, right? What it also could be is a person that's drawing their sword. Now, if somebody is drawing their sword, what you can do is you have them here, boom. You can come in, you can stop that sword from being drawn with this hand here, and then you can actually draw their sword and get their sword away from them and pull it out. This hand here can be a check to defend against something, or again, it can be the beginnings of another technique. But this drawback here, like this, like you're chambering, doesn't necessarily have to be grabbing just their arm. You can also be grabbing their sword and pulling it out of the sheath. Now you have their sword, all right? And again, do the same thing on the other side, you know. So we got the punch, and then we're gonna do this inside block, is what you call an inside block, okay? Again, can be many things, many things. You have the outside block, boom. That could be a lot of things. Then you do it the same way in the back. We'll discuss this in more detail later, but this video is running pretty long as it is, so I think I'll probably stop right there, and we will delve into this kids form Surikonto Hinko in a later date, and I'll make a much larger video. I'll probably use most of this in that video and just expand on it. So thank you much for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcraft, and enjoy the outdoors, even if it's just your own backyard.